Good evening. I welcome you once again to our current affairs class. Today is January 1st, New Year 2015. I warmly wish you each and everyone over there. So very happy, bright and prosperous New Year. Hopefully it will be a great success as far as this year is concerned, and hope the success will continue in the future years also. Hopefully you might have enjoyed December 31st and January 1st. And let's get back to our work very seriously again with respect to the preparation. So this is one concept which is considered to be very important with respect to preparation, that is the current affairs. So we'll resume the session, day number 1 of the new year. So again, I extend my warm welcome to everyone. So to be present, who are present with me for this session. So we'll have a discussion about what is happening in the country today. I was talking to you something about the Planning Commission. So 2 important developments have been taken place today. I'll be talking to you regarding them. Number 1, with respect to Planning Commission. We have already seen Planning Commission was a body that was created in the year 1951, and the decision was taken by the Union Cabinet headed by Jawaharlal Nehru in the year 1950. And the Planning Commission served India for a quite long period of time up to August 13th, 2014. So that was a day on which the new government took a decision, and they have scrapped the Planning Commission. And today's news is that the name of the Planning Commission has been changed, and the structure and functions of the Planning Commission have also been changed. So I'll be talking to you regarding them first, then we'll see some other important matter. Now, let me show you the document straight away. Look at this. So now the Planning Commission name has been changed. Now it is called NITI Aayog. And if you look at this, the NITI Aayog, that is the NITI, stands for National Institution for Transforming India. So from the name, the Planning Commission, it has been changed to NITI Aayog. So this will be the new body which is going to serve the nation. See, when it comes to the Planning Commission, always there were complaints and there were certain lacunae that were existing. Of course, the Planning Commission of India did a fantastic job. It served the nation for a long period of time. Maybe the new government has thought that there is a necessity to revamp the whole system. Otherwise, in the old Planning Commission, there is no representation from the states. That is the reason it was considered to be wholly a national body, only the central body, where it is headed by the Prime Minister and few ministers from the central level, and the remaining other people who are considered to be the members, and another person is considered to be deputy chairman of the Planning Commission, and everybody was appointed by the cabinet, and there was no representation from the states. So this is the biggest matter of concern since the beginning. Now the Planning Commission has been scrapped, and in that one we have NITI Aayog. Again, this important body is going to be headed by the Prime Minister of India as usual. In the previous Planning Commission, we have a position called Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission. Now this is not available, and it has been changed as a Vice Chairman of the new body, that is the NITI Aayog. So this is the latest development. And apart from this one, when it comes to the membership, the chief ministers of all the states are the members in the new body. Previously it was not. Kindly observe the differences. The chief ministers of all the states are the members in this new body, plus the administrators, the so-called the lieutenant governors. You must be knowing, lieutenant governor is a position that we can see in the union territories, and that lieutenant governor is also a part in the new body. So meaning this is considered to be an all India representation. Meaning instead of working just as a central body, now it will be working on the all India level because the representation is there from various states and also the union territories. It is considered to be a welcome gesture. In the previous meeting that was held in the residence of the Prime Minister of India, except a few chief ministers remaining, all of them have welcomed the new proposal. But the modalities are going to be worked out. How exactly this is going to be so effective for the nation like India, we have to wait and watch. Hopefully, this will define the India into a new era and which is going to be a successful era. So we'll try to understand this over a period of time. But whatever the information we have today, I would like to share that information with you, and kindly hold on. I'll open the document again. Look at this. The Planning Commission was scrapped on August 13th, 2014. Let me make it here. Let me write it. The Planning Commission was scrapped on August 13th, 2014. And now the Planning Commission has been replaced by another body called National Institution for Transforming India. So this is the point here. And today itself, this has been announced by the government. And when it comes to the head for the new body, the Prime Minister himself is going to be the head of the new body. And this NITI Aayog, it is going to formulate the policies and directions to the governments. So basically what happens, as far as today is concerned, the directions to the various governments can be decided by the governments themselves. That is the reason we always say the Prime Minister is powerful and the Chief Minister is really powerful at the state level. But now this new body is going to play a crucial role with respect to the policy formulation, and it is also going to provide the directions to the governments. Directions to the government in the sense, in the political affairs, this is not going to be interfering. But with respect to the implementation of the policies, like social policies and economic policies, this particular body is going to give the directions to the governments so that there will be a proper implementation of these policies. And the periodical review will be done by the new body. It is the National Institution for Transforming India, that is called NITI Aayog. Look at this. And this particular body will be a think tank and provides a national agenda for the Prime Minister and the Chief Ministers. Since the beginning, there is a demand in India. Of course, this demand was never met. Until and unless the entire India works together, the development of the nation may not be possible. India is a federation where the powers are divided between the central government and also the various state governments. So state governments have been empowered to function within their own realm. But in a country like India, mutual dependence and interdependence among all the states, plus between the states and the central government, is a must. Otherwise, the overall national development is not possible. That is the reason, while you are reading the newspaper, you will come across with the growth rate of various states. And this growth rate will vary from state to state. In some places, it will be really higher. In some other states, it will be really low. So because there is a lack of comprehensive planning with respect to the development of the nation. And when it comes to the implementation also, there is no proper body that is existing to give the directions. There were so many lacunae that were present in the existing system, and hence we expect the new body will be the solution for all the problems. Hopefully, it will be working towards the social and economic development of the nation, which are considered to be one of the prime significant prime areas with respect to the Constitution of India. Now, look at this. This particular body comprises of chief ministers of all the states and the lieutenant governors of the union territories. So various people are coming. So this is going to be a body with all India representation. Kindly remember, I was telling you some time back, Prime Minister is the real executive for the nation, and the Chief Minister is the real executive at the state level. If the Chief Minister of a state is representing in any particular body, that is nothing but he is representing the whole state. Since we have 29 states, and all the 29 states chief ministers will become the members in the new body. And out of 7 union territories, for 2 UTs, we have chief ministers. They will also become the members. And in the rest of the union territories, the lieutenant governors will become the members. So with respect to the Delhi and Pondicherry, that is to be decided what exactly is going to happen. But whatever it is, so there will be a representation from all India level. So this is going to be a fantastic aspect. Now kindly remember, so this is a body which consists of the Prime Minister at the higher level, followed by the Chief Ministers and also the Lieutenant Governors of the Union Territories. Now, and this particular body will look into the policies and economic matters of national and international importance. Very, very important one. This will look into the matters of both national and international importance. Look at this. It is also interested with the village development plans, meaning starting from the highest level to the grassroots level, it is going to be working. The ideas are good, but we'll see how exactly this is going to be implemented. If the government of the day is really committed, if it is really implementing all the things here, it's nothing like it. Otherwise, in India, since day one of the commencement of the constitution, one of the important areas is the village development. As Mahatma Gandhi also made it very, very clear, India lives in the rural areas. Until and unless the rural areas are not developed, the development of India is not possible. So this is the statement that is given by Mahatma Gandhi ji. And now, of course, the governments were doing its best, but that was not sufficient. In fact, that's the reason even today also, most of the states most of the villages in India, so these are still underdeveloped. There are so many villages where there is no proper electricity, no proper water, irrigation, no proper education, health facilities, no communication system. Is an unfortunate thing. So maybe all these are going to be addressed with this particular organization. It also concentrates on the separation of process of governance from the strategy of governance. See, it very, very important. I was using this word, the so-called governance, in the previous classes also. Government is a body, group of people which are meant for policy making and policy implementation. But when I use the word governance, that is the deliverability, meaning whatever the policies that are meant for the welfare of the people should reach to the doorsteps of the people. If it is not reaching the doorsteps of the people, that is not concerned as, that is not called as governance. Look at this, the new Prime Minister, the time when he assumed the office, he was talking in terms of the less government and more governance. Meaning we speak less and we do more. Deliverability. The citizens of India will get the confidence in the government only when their real aspirations, their real needs are met. It is not just making the promises by the government of India or any government of the state that should be reaching the doorsteps of the people, then only that is called the good governance. So the new body, the NITI Aayog, will be working even for the good governance. That's the reason why there is a difference between process of governance and the strategies of the governance. Now they will be separated. It's a good thing. Now it will be separated. Hopefully with the separation, better governance is possible. because the new strategies will be developed to reach the doorsteps of the people in a better manner. So it is going to be one of the functions of the NITI Aayog. Am I clear? Now, few more points. The new body will have a vice chairperson. In the previous body, there is a planning commission. There was a person by name deputy chairman of the planning commission. And instead of that one, the designation has been changed, and it is called the vice chairperson and a chief executive officer, and appointed by the prime minister. And of course, so many things are there to come into the picture, and the modalities are going to be worked out. Okay, now, so this is about the NITI Aayog. Kindly remember this one. So next, I would like to talk to you something about the NJAC. So this is the latest one. So many developments have been taken place today. And when it comes to this NJAC, it stands for National Judicial Appointments Commission. This is a new body under the Constitution of India. What is the meaning of this? So now, see here, whatever I'm going to talk to you now, already I spoke to you some points to you in the previous classes, but again, I would like to reiterate so that we'll be recollecting certain points which are associated with the National Judicial Appointments Commission. This is a new body. It's a new constitutional body that is going to be established in India in a very, very short period of time. So whatever I'm talking to you now, that is with relation to the Supreme Court and High Court. Since beginning, from the day of commencement of the Constitution, we have the Supreme Court and we also have the High Courts. And certain fundamental points are all the judges in the Supreme Court and all the judges in the High Court are appointed by the President of India. This is what is mentioned by the Constitution of India. In the similar manner, when it comes to the transfer of the judges from one court to the other court, maybe from one High Court to the other High Court, or High Court to the appointment of the judges to the Supreme Court, anything, everything is done by the President of India under the Constitution. So this is what is happening in India since the beginning, and even today also the same thing holds good. But India is a country where so many developments have been taken place after the commencement of the Constitution. That's the reason there was a change in the structure, there was a change in the functions of the systems. And one of the systems was the judiciary system. I told you already, judiciary is a part of the government. And in India, we have the independent judiciary. And starting from 1950 up to the year 1993, all the judges in the Supreme Court and High Court were appointed by the President of India. Even today also in the Constitution, the same thing is mentioned. All the judges in the Supreme Court and High Court are appointed by the President. But in the year 1993, so there was a historical judgment given by the Supreme Court of India. So during that time, it was headed by Justice J.S. Verma, and the gentleman, honorable judge during that time, he gave a judgment saying that from 1993 onwards, who should be appointed as the judges will be decided by the Supreme Court Collegium and not by the government. See, not just in India, you take any country in the world, in every country, the judges are appointed by the government. Judges are appointed by the executive. India also falls under that category. But in India, various developments have been taken place before the year 1993, especially when Srimati Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. Normally, you see, whenever you appoint somebody as the Chief Justice of India, even today also, we take the seniority into consideration. And we know certain things. In Supreme Court, we have one Chief Justice of India, and the remaining all are the judges of the Supreme Court. So there are 30 judges in the Supreme Court plus one CJI. So altogether, 31 judges are present in the Supreme Court as of today. Constitution is permitting. Now, since the year 1973, up to the year 1973, so the things were holding good. But in the year 1973, when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India, she appointed a judge who is number fourth position with respect to seniority. He has been appointed as the Chief Justice of India. Obviously, all the people who are above him, remaining three people, they felt that it was an insult and they have submitted the resignation letters. Obviously, we cannot expect anybody to work under someone who is junior to him. But because of the decision that was taken by Srimati Indira Gandhi during that time, so these things have happened. And the same things have been repeated over a period of time also. That's the reason why Judiciary took a decision in the year 1993, and the Supreme Court itself has given a judgment saying that from now onwards, the judges who should be appointed as a judges will be recommended by the collegium. And the suggestion that is given by the collegium is binding on the government. So what is happening since the year 1993? Previously, it was the government of the day who decides the names of the judges, and that cabinet will forward the names to the President of India, and the President of India will be accepting those names. But since 1993, what happens is that it is the Supreme Court of India, the collegium that is present in the Supreme Court, headed by the Chief Justice of India. They will pick up some names, and the names will be forwarded to the law ministry, law department, where they will verify the names. Then it will be forwarded to the Prime Minister's office, and from PMO, it will be forwarded to the President of India. At any place, after the list is released by the Supreme Court Collegium, at any place, if there is any doubt or if there is any controversy or if there is any objection by the government, they have every right to send it back to the collegium for the reconsideration. But after such reconsideration, there is no other go for the government except to accept this. Meaning, either the Supreme Court may reconsider its own decision, or Supreme Court may be binding on its own decision. Whatever may be this, once the decision reaches the president, once the decision reaches the government, there is no other go for them. They have to recommend the same name to the President of India. This is what is happening since the year 1993. From 1993 till today also it continued. But what is the problem in this? And if you look at any country, I told you just now, the appointment of the judges is decided by the executive and not by the judges. India is the only country in the world where the appointment of the judges is recommended by the judges, which is binding. The most beautiful part of this is that, which is also binding in nature. And for quite long period of time, there was a discussion to put an end to this type of practice. And government was mulling over this for quite long period of time. And finally, they have decided to scrap the system of the collegium. Hence, it is not a new one, please. It was there under discussion for quite long period of time. But the new government took the decision and it introduced a constitution amendment bill. So you need to scrap the Supreme Court collegium and you need to establish a new body, which is going to be a constitutional body. Hence, you need to go for the amendment of the constitution, and the procedure is mentioned under article number 368 of the constitution. And accordingly, it is a mechanism to scrap the Supreme Court collegium. The bill was introduced in the parliament and the bill was passed in both the houses of the parliament. But the constitution makes it very, very clear. if you want to amend anything which is present in the chapter 4, which is present in the chapter 4 of part 5 of the Indian Constitution. Kindly remember this very clearly. Everybody who is preparing for civil services, this is important point, and you will definitely get a question on this. Judiciary is always important for us. And now we are talking about the highest judiciary. We are talking about the amendment of the constitution. We are trying to touch the concept of the judiciary now. Hence, it has lots of significance. Now, if you want to amend chapter 4 of part 5 of the Indian Constitution, see here we have some parts in the Indian Constitution. I told you during our discussion on Indian polity, but some of the parts are also divided into chapters. If you look at part 5, it talks about the union executive, union legislature, and also the union judiciary. So union judiciary means I am talking about the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has been mentioned under chapter 4 of part 5 of the Indian Constitution. Remember this. And Article 368 made it very, very clear. If you want to amend anything in this particular chapter number 4 of part 5, it is not just enough if you pass a constitution amendment bill in the parliament. After it is passed by both the houses of the parliament, it should be accepted by at least half of the state legislatures. At least half the state legislatures. And today, look at India, I have 29 state legislatures. And out of these 29 state legislatures, it should be accepted by minimum half. And today we have the information that the bill has been accepted by 16 legislatures. That is enough. 16 is more than 50% of all the states. That's the reason why the bill is considered to be accepted by the legislatures, and the bill has reached the President of India, and the President has given his nod. President gave his assent, and accordingly, the amendment bill became an amendment act. This is the amendment process that has been taken place. So now, once the President has signed this, the Supreme Court collegium has been scrapped. So very soon, National Judicial Appointments Commission is going to be established. From now onwards, who should be appointed as the judges will be decided by the National Judicial Appointments Commission. But again, who are the members and who is the chairperson in this? When it comes to NJAC, it is again headed by the Chief Justice of India. It's a good thing. The government made a good thing by making the CJI as the head of the NJAC. Number 2, apart from the CJI, who is the head, so there will be 2 other judges from the Supreme Court. 1 CJI and 2 other judges from the Supreme Court and 2 other eminent personalities. So who are the eminent personalities who are going to occupy this place? We have to wait and watch. Plus, from the government side, law minister will also be a member of this NJAC. Hence, I have 1 CJI, 2 Supreme Court judges, 2 eminent personalities, 1 law minister. Altogether, 6 members will be there with respect to the NJAC. How soon it is going to be functioning? So we have to wait and watch. So these are the latest developments that took place today. Am I clear? But today's concept is that it is not just the amendment bill here, but it was also accepted by half the state legislatures as the constitution is prescribing. Hence, the bill has been cleared, President has signed it, and very soon we are going to have this NJAC. I'll show you the document. Look at this. NJAC stands for National Judicial Appointments Commission. Look at this. This is scrapped the collegium system in India. I told you what is the meaning of the collegium. The collegium system came into being in the year 1993. Remember this, at any time it may be a question. And the concerned judge was Justice J.S. Verma. This required the constitutional amendment and it was passed by both the houses in August 2014. It was passed by both the houses. And look at this. Chapter 4 of Part 5 of the Indian Constitution needs a constitutional amendment. I told you all the points. I'm just showing the points now. It requires ratification by at least half the state legislatures. And as of today here, it was ratified by 16 out of 29 legislatures. And it received the president's assent. Am I clear? Now, look at this. And from now, the NJAC appoints and transfer the judges to the Supreme Court and also to the High Courts. Meaning the NJAC, the new body, will be functioning for both Supreme Court and also for the High Courts. And this NJAC will be headed by the Chief Justice of India. And this is going to comprise of Chief Justice of India, who is the head, and 2 other judges from the Supreme Court, and 2 eminent personalities, and the Law Minister of the Union. And this is the body which is going to recommend to the government that who should be appointed as a judge in the Supreme Court and also in the High Courts, and who should be transferred from one place to the other. Everything will be decided by a new body called NJAC. But the thing is that now the government will also have something to say as far as the NJAC is concerned. Previously, the government had no option except listening to the directions or the suggestions that are given by the Supreme Court Collegium. Now the government's representation is there. But the concept is that we have to wait and watch now. When this particular bill was introduced in the parliament, there was a discussion that was going on in India. Is it not interfering into the concepts of independent judiciary? So meaning independent judiciary is one of the basic features of the Indian Constitution. Now, when the bill was passed in both the Houses of the Parliament, a petition was filed in the Supreme Court. And there was an expectation that the Supreme Court may nullify this particular amendment, meaning the bill that was passed by the Parliament. But at that time, Supreme Court refused to interfere into this matter because it is too early to talk about this. Because it needs to go to the various state legislatures and it needs to be passed. But now it is passed, and now the president also given his assent. So maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow or within coming 2 to 3 days or within 1 week, we'll be looking that a petition will be filed in the Supreme Court. And this representation will be there from the legal community, where the authenticity of this particular National Judicial Appointments Commission will be questioned. If the Supreme Court rejects the petition, then that is considered to be, there is the roads are clear for NJAC. But some experts say very clearly that there is every possibility that the NJAC, creation of NJAC may be scrapped by the Supreme Court. Meaning this is not the end of the story. Some more story is there, which we are coming to see within a very, very short period of time, maybe within 2 days or within 1 week. And again, during that time, we'll extend the discussion on this. But as of today, NJAC has been created. Bill was passed by both the Houses of the Parliament, and the bill was also accepted by half of the state legislatures, meaning 16 out of 29 have accepted, and the president has given his assent. So this is the latest story. So what is going to happen in future? Again, we'll have a discussion on this. So thank you so much for being with me this evening. I once again wish you all very, very, very happy and warm New Year. Thank you so much. Good night.